Hey, what's up, so mikeyperion here, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Minecraft 4.13. On the first part of this episode, I want to give you guys a quick tour of our city because I know a lot of you guys are quite new to the channel and this game has been 6 months now. Well, the very first episode that we have published in this game was in 28th of July last year, and I know there are only a few weeks left before we end this series, and as you can see in the map right over here, we only have a few plots remaining that we need to fill in. And yes, these places right over here are what we have accomplished for the last 6 months. And I know some of you guys may be wondering on how this city progressed. Well, some of you, of course, already have watched my early episodes in this series, so you may already have an idea on what we have here in the new Hyperion city. Well, this is just a quick tour. Well, it will serve as a little refresher course for you guys, for my, of course, original subscribers. And, well, for the new subscribers, well, at least you will have an overview on what we have here in the city, well, around here in the new Hyperion city. So basically, this clock tower right over here is the very first structure that we have built in this series. So, well, this is the industrial district. So this is the first district that we have established. This is actually the original village. This is where the original village is situated in this game. So this is where I started the game. So, well, as you can see, we have a really nice architectural around here, especially that we have a nice view of that headquarters from here. And also, this lighthouse right over here, well, underneath this lighthouse is actually the hostile mob farm, which is covered by that mountain or cliffy thingy right over there. Well, it's just a nice cover up, right? So at least we can hide those ugly redstone constructions that we have here in the city. But anyways, so, well, we are going next to the farming district. Of course, on the right side over here you can hear the creeper screaming. Well, that's the creeper farm, and over here is actually our stone factory, which is one of the most useful factory or farm here in the city. Of course, we use a lot of stones for these builds, of course. And on this area right over here, this is the farming district. This is the second district that we have built for this series. That place right over there is not loaded. Well, it just loaded though. But anyways, of course, this place is less denser compared to what we have there. So this windmill right over here, this is where we have established the district. Of course, that's the first build that we have built in this district right over here, which is kind of a landmark, right, for this place. So on this side right over here, this is where our tree farm. Of course, this is like a manual tree farm. Of course, I also like to have all of the trees. That's why I just do this manually. Well, yes. So, well, that tree does grow. But anyways, so, well, this is also a lesser dense area of the city, of course, which is somehow, well, it's a farming district, right? I mean, somehow we have to make this a little dense compared to other district. Of course, we have these automatic wheat farm right over here, and we also have tons of farms around this district. Of course, this is where we get our food. Well, of course, those items are also for sale with the traders. So, well, so now it's time to move on the third district that we have established in this city. Of course, the uptown district right over there. So during the time that I have finished of course, all of the farms here in the city, I already have started, building bigger structures, especially these uptown this should be the downtown district. This is called the downtown district, by the way. This downtown district is much dense compared to other districts. Of course, this is the main city, and this place right over here is not loading. Well, this is actually the marina right over here, just adjacent to that lighthouse right over there. So, well, this place has a lot of stuff going on, so that's why it lags too much, I guess. So this place right over here is actually the pier that we use. I should have some boats soon enough. Of course, we are going to build that soon. Of course, it has been pending for a long time now, but the view over here is really nice. I mean, especially the view of the downtown district from here is I mean, I like this view. I mean, this it really looks really dense. I mean, especially on this view right over here. Well, it really emphasizes the density of the buildings and the structures around this district. Well, that's the purpose of this district. That's why we call it the downtown district. Of course, should be like, where the most of the population lives. There are actually quite, a couple of people around or on the top of this building. So of course, this area right over here, this building right over here is actually our personal residence, which is actually the tallest building here in the city. And well, the next district that we are going to is the commercial district. This is the newest district that we have built aside from the uptown district. Of course, we have just built this recently this year. I think I have finished, sorry, I started this district in January or late December. So, well, this is actually very new. And of course, from the last episode, we have built this temple right over here, which is actually should be somehow unique. And of course, the interior, I really love the interior of this place, especially that it really represents, you know, Hyperion, because we have those stuff right over there. But anyway, so, and this place is not loading again though. Well, because we have so much stuff going on. So, well, please load now. Okay. But anyway, so well, for today's episode, of course, we are going to start working on this district right over here. So this is actually a part of the uptown district. So this is actually the uptown district. So we are going to place a very special structure right over here, which we are going to build later. Of course, I think you will gonna see that in the thumbnail. And on the area right over here, well, I think on this area, not there. So this area right over here, we are going to start building some townhouses. Only one row of townhouses for this episode. Of course, we are also going to build more houses on these plots right over here, but I'm going to do those offline because it's gonna be kind of similar of what we are going to build here. So, well, of course, this area also gonna be some townhouses. So this is like the suburban place of the city. Of course, we are going to have a larger house right over here, which is going to be like a manor, which will go to have like a little opening in the middle. That's my plan for this manor right over here. Well, nothing that special though, but on this plot right over here, of course, like I said, you will going to see that in the thumbnail, we are going to build a movie house in that plot right over there. So basically, that is for the final part of this episode. And on this part right over here, we are going to build something here for the next episode. So basically, the second to the last episode, these are the final builds that we are going to build for this series. And well, that's the only few projects remaining for this series. But of course, you have to start this episode. And without further ado, let's get started. So now we are first going to build the townhouse right over here. So basically, I already have placed the layout for these houses. So basically, they are going to be similar to each other. So this is going to be one of the entrances of one of the houses. So basically, these are like small houses, right? And we are going to have a back door on this side right over here, which is, well, it will work on the 5 houses that we are going to build in this show. So they're gonna be identical. And on this part right over here, we are going to have stairs. So most likely we are going to have 2 floors for each houses that we are going to build here. And yes, I think that's the best idea or the best plan for this townhouse. And I'm not sure if we are going to do the same with the other rows, but I guess it should work the same, right? Well, I tried to make a sample here, but I'm actually struggling because this place is so compact, it's so small, and I wanted to put, you know, more details, but it's I mean, the place is very limited, but I guess it's fine. So, well, let's work on the second floor. So basically, I'm planning to make this a little some sort of like an attic, but on the front part, it's gonna be like a full wall. But let's see how it's gonna work though. Maybe I just really got used to bigger buildings, but this looks fine now, right? I mean, for this scale, it's quite limiting compared to what we have done in the bigger buildings, but yeah, I'm okay with this. So now it's time to copy this house on these other sides right over here. But I guess we should do this part by part instead of building by building or houses by houses. So maybe we could start with the divisions, so at least we could be pretty systematic, right? Well, actually, my decision to make this part by part is actually very efficient, especially that I don't need to bring those materials. But of course, there are quite some changes on this end right over here. Of course, this is already the end part. So basically, this last wall is going to have a window on this part right over here. So well, Yeah, so last piece, and yeah, so we're done with the division. So let's check it out on how it looks like though. Although these are just walls in between these houses, but so far, well, these are all the same, right? But of course, the next thing that we have to build, I guess it should be the ground floor, right? So at least maybe we could start on the front part, and then the back part I will do that as well. So basically, let's just do the ground floor first, and I'll be back. And now we're done with the ground floor. So basically, well, they're all the same, right? So basically, these are townhouses, so they should be the same. And why did I forget this window right over here though? Yeah, and there you go. So checking on the backside right over here, well, we actually have some gates on the backside right over here. So basically, these are just acacia doors, but it looks like a gate, right? Well, somehow, I don't know why we still have double doors on the backside, but I guess it's just added to the, But anyway, so, well, this is pretty compact. It's really small, but of course, I guess this should work fine, right? I mean, we're not gonna live here. So basically, now it's time to move on this second floor. Well, we have nothing else to do but to complete these houses, right? And now we're removing this wrong block, but we're almost done. We're almost done for these town houses, and yes, we're done. So, well, this is actually pretty quick build, to be honest. Well, we got a really nice view of the city from here, though, especially from, our personal residence. But anyway, so we're done. We're done with all of these houses. This only actually took me only an hour, I guess. So it's a pretty quick build, especially that, of course, it's easy because we just need to copy all of those designs all throughout those houses. But yes, so somehow it doesn't really match our architectural style here in the city, but I guess this is fine because somehow I find this little modern though. Yeah, so but so far I like this one. But yeah, so I guess we have to stick this. So, well, this is not really that impressive build, but I guess it really adds to the vibe here in the city. So basically, well, at least they got a nice view from here though. Although later on we're also going to build something there in the front of these houses, so most likely their views will be blocked though. But anyway, so now it's time to move on. So we are going to build a manor on this side right over here. Of course, this is going to be a house for the wealthy, and they got their own squid farm underneath, in their basements. But of course, this is still part of our property, right? But anyway, so let's build this manor. I did had a little struggle, so I decided to put up a fountain and change this into a road because there's a small area earlier in this part right over here. So I just changed it into the roadside because I don't have any idea on what to put there. But anyway, so I also have laid out this manor right over here. So basically, we are going to have a little garden in the middle in this part right over here. Of course, well, the wealthy can afford some gardens in their own houses, right? Especially if they own a big plot like this one. So basically, on the sides, we are going to have the house or something like the structures, and we are going to have in the middle right over there to have like, a little higher roof, I guess. But yes, I guess this layout is fine. So let's just continue building this and let's see how this goes. And we had another change of plan, so I'm thinking that on this lower ground we are going to make this place open. So basically, we're just going to put like archways on the middle part right over here on the middle section, but on the outer walls, of course, they are going to be walls, but instead of like putting glass windows, I just put some of these, grilled windows, something like that. So basically, this is kind of similar to an old Spanish architecture, which is somehow they call it like casas, or I think it's all over the world, but I think originated from Spain. But I guess this should work fine, right? And now we're done with the ground floor. So basically, this actually reminds me of an old Spanish architecture anyways, but somehow it's still appropriate in the architectural style in the city. But of course, we are also going to place a garden here in the middle, but that's for later. So now it's time to move on the upper level. So basically, this is going to be the main living area, the livable area for this building. And like I said, this is a manor. Well, that's what we are building, right? So Well, for this time, we are going to use again a wattle and dome architecture. So I already have prepared the bones that we are going to use for the walls. And of course, we have done this a lot of times. So basically, you're already familiar of what we are going to do here. So it's kind of similar of what we have done there. Well, yes, so, but anyways, so, well, it's pretty much the same, so let's do it. Well, this looks totally familiar, right? Well, we're already recycling the architectural styles that we have here in the city, although these have a different layout, but the design is kind of similar on what we have in the farming district and as well as, you know, in other places. But this should work fine because like I used to say before, we have to balance you know, consistencies and differences around the city. So at least, you know, I mean, we also have to make this place organic, I mean the city, and somehow we also need to have consistencies in terms of, like, at least we can stick into one era, which is, I think we have decided it should be like in 1950s. But of course, not all the time. I mean, the houses are updated, so there are going to be, like, you know, old houses, but this looks really good, right? I mean, especially the only difference for this building is that we have an opening in the middle, so this makes it a little unique, I guess. But it's just somehow I also like what we have in the exterior. Well, not too much though, because I'm already get used to this design though. But well, at least the vibe is still there. I mean, on what we have vision for this city, right? But I guess this should work fine. So well, so now it's time to finish this. I think I'm going to need some more wood, so I'm going to get it from the tree farm. And now we're on the roof section, so basically we're almost done. We just need to finish up that roof over there on that side, and also we have to make sure that this these roof are spawn proof from the hostile mobs. Of course, we don't want some creepers falling from this roof, right? But anyways, so well, we're almost done for this build, and I'll be back. And now we're done for this manor, and this looks pretty amazing, right? I mean, I like what they have done here inside, especially in this, you know, middle section right over here. But of course, on the outside, it's kind of meh for me though, to be honest. Maybe it's just because I really got used to this style though, and it's not that tall, but I guess I need to remove that sea lantern over there though, because it's kind of odd looking though. Yeah, on the outside right over here, it's kind of bland though, but somehow it still adds to the vibe of the city. Basically, yeah, we should just skip this, right? We should just skip this. So far here on the backside, it also looked nice. I mean, yeah, I mean, especially with this fountain right over here. So, well, somehow I think I also want to make this like an entrance. So we still don't have like a gate for this city, but I have to take that. So basically this is done. So now it's time to move on. So the last build that we need to have for this episode is, of course, the movie house or the theater. This used to be a theater. I mean, my original plan was a theater, but I guess a movie house is much better, right? But anyway, so let's start building this. Like what we normally do, we always start with the layout. Of course, this one is for our movie house or movie theater. Well, this is the layout that I have decided though. So basically, on this part right over here, on the center, we are going to have the ticket booth, and we are also going to have two entrances for this movie house. And of course, this will be divided by this wall right over here between the entrance and the main theater on this side right over here. Of course, the center is going to be the seats, and the theater, of course, we are going to have these some sort of like elevation for the seats, and on the side right over here we are going to have the screen, and this is going to be the backstage right over here. So basically that's the layout. I'm not sure if there are really backstages in the movie houses though, but definitely for theaters they have. So the next thing that we have to do is to collect some red wool for the carpets that we are going to need for this floor right over here. Of course, well, we have to do that, and let's do it. Well, I just realized that I haven't done any shearing lately though, so I just changed some of these ships to red temporarily, but I'm going to bring back their color later after I have collected enough red wool for our build. But anyways, This may take time, I guess, but I guess it's fine though. But anyways, I'll be back. And so far, here's what we have accomplished. So basically, we already have the screen, the movie screen in the front, and as well as the seats in the main theater in this arc formation. So basically, I just decided in that way. And the next thing that we need to do is, of course, the walls. But of course, I already have done the posts and as well as the beams on the top part. But of course, on this part, we are going to have huge windows on both sides because this is still the entrance. And on this part right over here, of course, like I said, this is going to be the ticket booth. Of course, this has to be enclosed, and later on we are also going to put some villager in that. And on this side right over here, this side has to be closed because this is already part of the movie theater, so it has to be dim, right? And as well as soundproof. Well, if there's any sound, right, for this game. But anyways, of course, this is not a functioning movie house, but well, for at least for aesthetics or cosmetics purpose in this city, we are going to have this. Well, can you imagine watching a movie if this, you know, I mean, if Minecraft has it? But of course, well, somehow this looks really neat, right? I mean, I like what we have done so far in this movie theater, and especially if we're going to have more elaborate design, more festive design on the walls. But of course, well, I cannot wait to finish this movie house, and let's see how this goes. Well, I really like what we have done in the wall, especially it looks really festive, right? I mean, of course, this is an entertainment establishment, so this has to be, hello there, this has to look like very entertaining place, so that's why we have to make it, you know, more colorful. And of course, you also have done the consistent design on these entrances right over here. And of course, these ticket booth right over here, I already have placed a villager, especially that we have used the green coat. Of course, we cannot interact with him, right? Well, he doesn't trade anything except for tickets. Well, as if though. But anyways, so well, we're still not yet done with the entrance right over here. Of course, you have to add more extravagant design for this entrance. Of course, this is like a movie house. It has to be more festive in the front part. Well, on the sides, well, of course, it's kind of similar on what we have in the inside. Well, you just add a little arc on that, you know. Well, but yes, so on this side right over here, of course, you have to build the backstage right over here. Well, like I said, I don't know if movie houses have some backstages behind their movie screens, but for the sake for this build, of course, we have no other use for that. So, well, let's just put a backstage there anyway. So, of course, you have to place some roof later on this part. But of course, the next thing that I want to do first is these pit right over here. Of course, we are going to connect that from the roof, and I guess I forgot to bring some ladders though. But anyway, so this part right over here is where we are going to put the projector on the center right over here. Of course, every movie house got their projectors, right, in order to, you know, show the movie that they're playing. But anyways, so well, let's just continue building this, and we're almost done, I guess. Well, let's just finish this anyway. So I added some letterings on the entrance to represent like a movie title, although it only says like a movie house. But I also added some paintings on the top, so it somehow represents like movie posters. Well, this kind of shows like, you know, what's currently showing in this movie theater. So somehow it really looks like, you know, I mean, a movie house entrance. So far, well, this looks appropriate, right? But we're done with the entrance. So, well, I'm also done with the backstage right over here. So basically, I try to make this look industrially, somehow, if that's a term though, because this is like the operational side of this movie house. So basically, I've added some doors over there, and I forgot to add some normal door over there though. But yeah, I'll just put a door there later. So I guess the last couple of things that we need to do for this build is, of course, to cover this main theater over here with some roof. Maybe I'm going to use some dark prismarine for this one. And we also need to have a proper access going to the projector room below here, because I cannot make an entrance below, so I'll just put it on this part right over here. But basically, we need more dark prismarine, so I'm going to the sunken base. Working on curvy lines is giving me a hard time though. Well, I have decided to make this, you know, shape for this roof right over here, so I have to stick on it. But anyways, well, I guess this will turned out really good, especially once we have done this. But anyway, so we're almost done, and let's finish this. And now we're done and finally done with all of our builds for this episode. So basically, this movie house is now done. So, well, let's, of course, take a look from afar to check out all of the stuff that we have done for this episode. Especially, we have to look at from afar. Well, so at least we can. I thought I'm not gonna fly though. But anyways, so well, it's not really that high, but I thought I'm gonna, crash into that fence. But anyways, so well, it really looks good from the top view over here though. Oh yeah, well, at least that curvy roof paid off, I guess. Well, it's somehow it looks better on that side over there though. I wish I could just have flipped this. But anyways, so well, I guess so far I'm really happy of what we have accomplished for this episode, especially of course, well, somehow, well, this is kind of different of what we normally build, but of course this is less complicated. But so far, well, this is really cool, right? I mean, it's totally a different vibe, especially of course our purpose for this movie house has to be very festive. It has to be like, an entertaining area for our citizens, of course. Well, so far I'm really happy of what we have accomplished here. Well, yes. So checking out what's inside again, of course, this is how it looks like, especially with the roof. Well, yes. So well, everything looks great. Everything looks amazing for me. Well, yes. So this is really look like luxurious entertainment complex, I guess. Well, somehow, yes. Well, it also looks like a theater, right? Aside from being a movie house or a movie theater. But anyways, so well, I think this is the only time I got for this episode. So thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment, please leave a like, and make sure to subscribe. This has been Mikey Perion, and I'll see you guys next time.